This is In the Parks and Beyond, the podcast where we dive deep into the magical world of Disney, explore the thrills of Universal, and venture beyond the parks. Join us for insider tips, expert insights, and world-class recommendations on the best rides, shows, and hidden gems. We'll take you on culinary journeys with top food picks and share exciting adventures from destinations around the world. So, pull your lap bars down and head into the parks with us as we embark on this roller coaster we call life.
Welcome back. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Josh, and this is In the Parks and Beyond podcast. Well, guys, we made it. This is season 2 finale.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that, Jerry? We were very consistent this year.
Yeah, we were very good, actually.
Well, I guess I wouldn't say that. I guess we kind of left season 1 in the dust and just picked up season 2.
Yeah, we don't talk about season 1.
The season that has been forgotten.
Yeah, we didn't even have an ending to it. We just disappeared, and all of a sudden, guess what, guys? It's season 2.
Guess what, guys? We're back. We have a new brand.
So,
but today on our finale, I wanted to talk about an elf. Do you know where I'm going with this, Jerry?
I sure do.
I'm sure all of you have seen Tally the Elf by now.
Yes.
But maybe, you might, but some of you may not know, is that we have some crazy people that don't know how to differentiate between a regular character and a human being. Just because it's a human character doesn't mean they're not still a character.
Very true. Very, very true.
You've seen the videos, Jerry.
Yeah, they're everywhere at this point.
I mean, you'd be surprised, but I've heard from a few people who don't know who Tally the Elf is.
I know. Well, I was going to say, I think that's starting to change a little bit because my brother-in-law, actually, he was talking to us. We were playing video games last night, and he brought him up. And I'm like, even you've heard of him? He goes, yeah. He goes, the videos are starting to kind of go everywhere with it. I'm like, wow.
My mother sent me a text message, too, and I was like, what do you know about Tally?
Yeah. I was like, I was like, geez, that's surprising.
But I want to talk about not so much how awesome Tally is, but the people that are just ruined it for everybody.
Yep.
I kind of how can you obsess over someone's character so much so you don't even know what they look like under all the makeup and the wig? Like, for all you know, he could be 80 years old, but the makeup, I'm not saying but you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, I think that what the problem with modern day social media is. People get obsessed over things and then they take it way too far.
Absolutely. Most definitely.
I mean, the person that doxed him doesn't care.
Yep.
He's like, oh, he's too bad. I can do what I want. As of right now, he's been pulled from the show. So sure, he could be on a break and we could all be blowing this out of proportion. But the fact of the matter is you don't do that.
Yep. No,
the cast member is friends with them.
Yep.
They're not them.
Yep.
They're there to bring you joy, not for you to find out who they are and creepily stalk them.
Yes. Yep.
Because most of the performers are actors. Mm-hmm. So just like Emma Watson played Hermione Granger and one of the girls from Little Women, it's Emma Watson playing them.
Yep.
It's not Emma Watson. They're not in character unless you're what's Heath Ledger, who could not shake the Joker, but
yeah.
Or the kid who couldn't stop being Elvis. I forget his name.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, once the word "cut" is yelled, they're back to being their normal person.
Yeah, they go home. They have families. They have lives.
There's no and for people to be shouting his real name at him while he's in the parade while there's little children around, that's awful.
Yeah, that's it's for example, you were just mentioning Emma Watson and stuff like that. It's like you have Iron Man, right? And let's say Robert Downey Jr. He came on stage and he announced that he's Dr. Doom. You don't see people yelling Robert Downey Jr. from the stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't see him yelling like, "Hey, it's Iron Man." Right? Why would you do the same thing?
You got to different. People need to realize that the character is not the character.
Correct.
Let's do another Harry Potter reference. Dumbledore was changed.
Yep. Oh, yes, he was.
First two movies was a different Dumbledore, and the rest of
Yep.
the movies was another Dumbledore.
Yep.
Dumbledore is the character.
Sure is.
So there is zero reason why people should be doxing this poor kid who all he was doing was bringing joy to families. And imagine being a family who has a later party date and now don't and only got the party because they wanted to see Tally and to
Yep.
bring joy to them.
And now they can't. Yep.
I mean, and well, I mean, I'm sure there is still going to be Tally in the parade. So, but people are now going to look at that Tally and be like, "Well, that's not Tally," because people can't differentiate the character from the actor.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I think it boils down to you need to respect cast members, you need to respect people.
Yep. I agree.
That's the growing topic on this is people don't respect cast members enough.
No, absolutely, and it's like it's a character too, you know. So it's like you don't see like going to Universal meeting the Grinch and calling the Grinch Jim Carrey when it's not Jim Carrey.
Exactly. I call him live action Grinch because it's. But I mean, but I don't call him live action Grinch to his face. I call him live action Grinch when I'm talking to someone like, oh yeah, I met the live action Grinch. Because if you go any other day, you could still meet the Grinch, but he's not. He's the book Grinch.
Yep, exactly.
So I mean, and I'm sure many people know who the actors are who play these characters, and like that's like if you went up to Ariel and called her Bridget because that's her name. I don't know what her name is, but like it's you're ruining the immersion, and that's when Disney will either pull them or fire them.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna they fire, but like let go.
Yeah. Yep. Or repurpose them somewhere else.
And instead of you thinking you did something cool by telling everybody who this person is, you just cost this guy his job. A job that he obviously loved doing.
No, absolutely. Poor Tally, you're gonna see him scrubbing toilets now instead in Disney.
They're gonna come for you. The mouse is coming for you.
I know, and not to say that's anything wrong if that is your job or anything like that, but like imagine going from that to the repurposing.
I feel bad for his understudy. Like those are big shoes that he has to fill now.
Absolutely. You know, I've always not even like to switch the topic real quick, but like jobs at Disney World and stuff like that. I've always joked around like imagine like being your dream job to work at Disney World and you applied, you get a job and you're like, yes, I'm gonna be a character, and all of a sudden your first assignment is you have to work at Starbucks. I'd cry. That place is miserable.
At least they're efficient though. They're way more efficient than the Starbucks down the street from my house.
No, for sure. Like, no, I'm not even saying that but I'm just saying, imagine like, oh, I'm going to work for Disney World. Your first assignment is Starbucks. I'm like, really?
Now, do you think I wish I could ask a cast member who works at the Starbucks because I want to know, does time slow down for them and it just feels like forever? Or with the amount of orders they just keep getting back to back to back to back, is it like time for your shift to be over quickly?
I would probably say it goes by fast because like when I used to work in fast environment, like at the movie theater, time used to fly by. It was like so fast. Like in fact, it was just like an 8-hour shift is like an hour. And I mean, unless it's one of those days where they're just watching their clock and I just want to go home.
Like a Wednesday?
Yeah, literally like a Wednesday.
Wednesday sucked at the movie. Mondays and Wednesdays were the worst.
Or Christmas Day, you know, like
yeah. Well, you want to leave Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But I actually met Emma Watson at the movie theater that I worked at. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
awesome. She was seeing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Nice. That's
and awesome. I had to bodyguard the door because little girls were like. But
that's cool.
Back to our cast member conversation.
Yes.
Respect them. It's simple.
Really? Yep.
Because what you think you might be doing something cool, like you might be the hero with everyone telling everybody who this person is, but at the end of the day, you're probably the most hated person in the parks right now.
Yep.
And you could ruin someone's career. You could ruin their life because, like Jerry said, they're not going to be able to be in a guest facing role if they're going to start being called that. And people have also been saying to the understudy I saw, like people taking videos, like not my Tally. What's wrong with you?
Exactly. It's a character, you know. It's
the character has been in the parade for years.
Yep. Like
obviously, this actor elevated the role, but that doesn't give you the right to act the way that some of you have been acting.
Absolutely. But it's like at the same time, it's like do you think like it's the same exact characters every single night in the parades and stuff like that? Let's be real, probably not. So like, I mean, I'm sure certain roles and stuff like that, yes, but like they're not the only ones who play it. So I mean,
Think
sure,
about
some
it.
might be others, but
There's 2 parades a party, right? And there's a party 4 times a week right now.
something like that, yeah. So like, very unlikely it's the same person.
And
Just
which
say,
I think that, and I get everyone's good intentions by like calling out the people on TikTok and like, but I think that the people that are making these videos calling out those people are also making it worse because you're still drawing attention to the whole thing.
exactly.
It's the same way like when someone's bullying you and when bullied you in grade school.
Yep,
You didn't
exactly.
give them attention, it would go away. But a lot of people just had to make content on it, and now here we are.
Absolutely. And
I'm not saying
let's
that
be
the
real though.
people.
Like a lot of people who are like calling it out, like are they being meaningful behind it? Sure. Some of them are probably just trying to
I can
capture it.
tell who's being genuine. I can tell who's just making a video for the clout. Um, but that is what it is. It's the world we live in, and people just suck.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, luckily the holiday season's coming to an end, so maybe we'll cool off, and maybe next year will be different.
I mean, if people didn't do this, he probably would have been the tally next year. But I don't think that they're going to let that happen again.
Which is unfortunate.
It's poor guy. I feel bad because
Yep.
obviously he loved what he was doing.
Absolutely. No, for some probably one of the best who's ever done it. Honestly, so
I
it's like,
didn't even know who Tally the Elf was. Like I have videos of
yeah, no,
from
for
last
sure.
year, and it's not
From
like
the
he's just
lights.
walking through.
Yep.
So, and I think anywhere that you can get crowd control, I mean, crowd work in the parades is actually what's going to elevate people to want to visit.
Yep. I agree.
Like, I mean, I've sat through so many parades lately, and there's not a lot of crowd work anymore. Like there used to be back in the early 2000s. And I get it's probably a new policy with COVID. They probably wanted to limit exposure. I get it, but
Sure.
that was part of the magic was the crowd work.
Absolutely. Yep. I agree.
But before we alienate our crazy audience, it's the end of our season, Jerry.
Yes, it is. What a season it has
We
been.
started off pretty strong. We hit some lows, we hit some highs. We had some awesome guests on. Should we tell them what we're working on?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Let's make hits.
me and Jerry have been discussing things behind the scenes that you all have no clue about. One of the ideas that we have is we want to bring more guests on. We want to hear from other creators. We want to hear from team members at Universal, cast members at Disney, SeaWorld. Like, I want to hear about your experiences.
Absolutely.
Imagineers, ride designers, graphic designers. Like, just I want to get people behind the scenes, people who are on the scenes all the time, and people who, like I said, create content around the parks. And remember, we are in the parks and beyond, so we do talk about things beyond the parks. So we want to get friends on. We'll talk movies. You know, the latest show. We have a lot planned for you.
Yeah, and I would love to also too. We've talked about this before too. Get small business people on here too.
Yes, absolutely.
That's makes the world go around in small businesses. So we'd love to pick people's brains, how they started, things like that. So a lot to come though. It's gonna be exciting.
I damn sure will not be getting someone from Walmart on here, but we will. I mean, do they need the exposure? I don't think so. Well, I definitely want to get small businesses on.
Tally the Elf.
I mean, I don't think Disney would be happy with that. But I mean, it's funny you say that because it was like my thought was like it'd be cool to get Tally the Elf on here, but he'd have to be in Tally. Like
literally,
we would be no better if we brought the actor on. Although if he gets fired by Disney, he's coming on.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna get him on because I will let him talk.
Josh is the reason why his name got out.
Just kidding. But I was like, do you think Disney will let that happen? Like, can I interview Tally? I mean, I know sometimes the cast members get to bring their costumes home, so like last party of the year, we won't release the episode till after you find a new role. But yeah, and like we have talked about, maybe I haven't mentioned, I don't know, but we will be adding a third seat next year. That announcement will be made on our social media at a later time. We have some candidates that we've been talking to, and it's possible we decide to open it up to the public. So stay tuned, maybe.
Yes.
Not promising anything because, like I said, we do have a list of candidates that we've already been talking to. But if you want to be a guest on the podcast, definitely reach out.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I don't care who you are. I mean, everyone deserves to have a voice.
Absolutely. We can even just talk sports.
Started with nothing. We were nobodies. I mean, I guess if you ask some people, we are still nobodies, but
Josh, you're more of a somebody than I am in this realm, so.
But we're really excited for what's to come because, like I said, we kind of kicked season 1 to the curb. You know, that was our learning curves. We kind of our growing pains. Season 2 was our rebrand.
I don't even call that season 1. I call it the petty season.
The preseason?
Petty.
Oh, petty. We even discussed making an in-person studio.
Yep.
And kind of elevating everything.
And it's also, too, not even just with the podcast alone, though. You know, we have talked about doing more with like the social media aspect. But
yes,
too, so more to come with that too. So
we don't want to just be known as the podcast you tune into every other week.
Yep.
That watches a video here and there. We are actually we want to be the next big thing when it comes to your theme park fix.
Yep, absolutely.
Obviously, I can't be at Six Flags all over the country. I can't be at Cedar Fair when they announce it. So what does that mean? We may bring on reporters. And
that stuff.
I think that, like I said, it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone deserves a shot at something.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jerry doesn't know that I was going to throw this plot twist at him.
Ooh, let's go.
I only told Jerry we were going to talk about Tally, and the second half was going to be about the future of the podcast.
On the spot. Let's go.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
I think so. I'm starting to sweat now.
I'm just creating suspense. You know how I like to pretend we're Imagineers on here?
Yes.
Now, I want to take it a little bit different, though. We're not going to be at Disney. We're not going to be building our own theme park. If you were in charge of Universal Studios, what ride would you have never made?
Never have made. To me, this is an easy one.
And if you say Fast and Furious, that's the cop-out answer. I'm just kidding.
No, I wasn't what I was going to say. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one. So my personal that I would never have made, or I would have made it in a different way, Kong.
You see, I think that Universal had like this epitome where they were like, we need rides that are trackless with screens. And I think that it was kind of, because Kong, the new Kong, actually took over expansion pad space from Jurassic Park. So that was supposed to be, it was planned to be an expansion of Jurassic Park, but we got Velocicoaster still, so they were still expanded. But I absolutely see that because it's not, they're still fun.
It is, but it's, I kind of, I think it, like, I get their point, like they needed like,
they were easy, probably fast rides to get done.
But I think that Kong, is a ride that should have been a fast ride, if that makes sense. Like, I think they did it no justice for what they gave it.
Like, I know that they're trying to move more to the family vacation scene. I get it.
Kong is not really a family movie.
I mean, the original Kong ride, like the original Kong ride.
Yes.
Hollywood.
Yes.
If you got to find videos of that, I'm gonna see if I can find a clip and just put it up over our faces. Oh man! But actually, was told that remember that major fire that happened at the backlot years ago.
Yes.
I was told that the original Kong animatronic melted.
No, I didn't know that.
And burnt up. Yeah, it was in storage and it just went down.
Wow, that's unfortunate. Jeez.
Yeah, I think I was at the Bob Gurr event when someone told me that.
Wow, man, that's definitely unfortunate. Wow, I didn't know that.
Which sucks, but he has a replica, he said, so. I mean, the guy made it, so he could probably make 50 more if he wanted to.
And he has them all over his house.
See, for me, I wouldn't have made Diagon Alley where it is. Now, I would still have made Diagon Alley, but I wouldn't have put it where it is.
All right.
I feel like mean, sure, I get it had to be there for Hogwarts Express and everything, but I feel like Diagon Alley would have been, if you just shifted it, I would have rather like where the Fear Factor theater
Yeah,
is and all that. If you just shifted everything over,
gotcha. Okay.
and that way we could have kept the Jaws area, and we could have kept. We could have kept not Twister, Earthquake. Like we didn't have to get that stupid Fast and Furious ride. I'm sorry, Universal, I love you, but
Well, it's kind
you
of
know it
funny.
sucks too.
Well, it's kind of funny because like they didn't get rid of the Fear Factor because at the time it was going, but look at it now. It's like empty space.
Well, now they use it. They use it for HHN for.
That's what I'm saying. But like once or twice a year, for like certain events and stuff like that. So it's like,
Now, I believe there was a rumor before Epic Universe that they were going to expand the London aspect of that
Yeah.
Wizarding World and put the Ministry Magic there, which would have been a smaller version. It was supposed to
Yeah.
be. It was rumored to be like a Flight of Passage type ride while you're in a broomstick.
yeah, yep.
So I thought it was pretty cool that they decided to open Epic Universe instead, because Disney would have went through with it. They would have went through with the smaller thing instead of building the fifth park. But Universal was like, "No, we're going to do this right."
At least somebody made a good decision.
The reason I asked you that was because there's not much I can say about Universal besides getting rid of the classic rides, like swap like Back to the Future for something. Like I mean,
they've never really made like a bad decision. Didn't replace it with something better,
except Fast and Furious.
Except Fast and Furious. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, what are you doing?
I get the concept they were going for. Like they were trying to do like the Kong type ride, but it didn't work out.
It didn't work. Definitely didn't work out. Like, come on. Like, what do you? Come on.
But
you just make it like that. At least like a trackless ride. Like you're driving in a car. At least not
right.
a party bus. Like it makes no sense.
It would be. I know. Well, with the rumors of Ride Rocket closing in 2025, it would be pretty cool if they made the like a similar ride like the one they're building in Hollywood. I know it would take up a little bit more footprint, but it would be cool if they built that and then they could just demolish the Fast and Furious ride and expand there.
When did Ride Rocket open? It's not that old.
I don't think so. Rip Ride.
Pretty sure it was in
Rocket.
2010, wasn't it?
It was. Not gonna tell me.
So like, no, we'll give you the information later on.
It opened in 2009.
2009. Okay, so almost 2010. So I mean, but still though, for a ride though, that's not like ancient,
No, but I believe that it is. It takes a beating.
Yeah, well, yeah, that takes a beating, and your head takes a beating.
I believe it's just like the way the ride is designed. It constantly needs maintenance.
Yeah. I mean, it was a cool
and
concept.
The Florida sun's not nice to it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that too.
But I think it would be cool. I mean, they've already kind of went away from the whole studios. Part of it, but at least Universal Studios still has an identity where Disney's Hollywood Studios is a junk drawer for Disney.
I will say I love the feel of studios.
Yeah, me too.
I love the feel. I hope they never change. Like I really enjoy the theming and the feel of studios.
Like the whole point of Universal Studios is you're in the back lot.
Yep.
Like that is the back lot because they actually do film in the park. The New York Street, the Hollywood Boulevard, like that's all.
Yep. Well, that's
all filming.
All that, wasn't it? Like the interest for all that and
the sound stages.
Yep.
Stages aren't considered part of the they're. I think she told me it was the front lot.
Gotcha. Okay.
And where he's hut, you go to the back lot, you visit the real back lot, but you're in the movies at Universal Studios Florida, which I thought was cool. And it's still like, instead of just making one Minions ride, like they made that Minions Land, they didn't just throw a Minions ride in there and call it that. The area where Harry Potter is, they still kept the theme. They have Diagon Alley hidden behind there, and you have London there. And we still have San Francisco. It's still themed like that. It's just, and the whole DreamWorks land. Like, at least they're building things and it's still cohesive.
Correct. Yep.
You don't have Star Wars, Muppets, Star Wars, Toy Story Land, Star Wars.
I was about to say that.
Man, I'm telling you, Disney, there is a reason why I haven't been invited to anything by Disney, and it's definitely this podcast.
Yeah, okay. Sorry there, Josh. You're probably never going to be invited.
Universal, call me. Or am I supposed to go like this now?
Yeah, literally. Gosh, you've gotten like so blacklisted by Disney that like anytime you log in to like buy tickets for anything, Disney knows it's you, so they raise the price on you.
It's it's probably the food reviews, but what I mean, if I was a business owner, I would rather someone be constructive than always be positive about my business.
Well, yeah, because you can never
Because
grow. There's no
exactly,
you
if
can't.
if you have 20 influencers saying, "Oh, it's amazing," and only one influencer saying, "No, this is crap. Don't waste your money." What do you think the consumers are going to go do? They're going to listen to
Absolutely.
the 20 influencers who are being way overly positive, and then they're
Yep.
going to have a shit time.
Yep. Absolutely. And like not even just like to throw shade at Disney, but like I know recently we've always been praising like Universal, but like I have some feedback for Universal and I've provided it to them that their mobile pickup for their food is awful.
Yes.
Like I've said that to them numerous times. You know, the last few times that we've gone and we've done mobile order, it's taken us an hour to get our food in. Like,
Yep. And the thing is, it's funny that you say that because Universal actually listens.
yes, yep,
Everyone was telling them that they need a new app. The
yep,
app needs updating.
yep.
And while it's still not perfect, I can still buy tickets in the Universal app. Where if I wanted to buy tickets in Disney, I go click buy tickets and it opens my browser and takes me to a third party. So there is very limited things I can actually do in the Disney app, whereas I
Yeah,
can do almost everything in the Universal app.
exactly. Yep, agreed.
You can buy annual pass in the Universal app. Like it's
Yep. No,
um,
absolutely, absolutely.
I bought my Epic Universe tickets in the app.
Yep. You can do everything in their app, honestly.
So they definitely listen on that aspect. But yes, I definitely agree on the mobile ordering.
Well, let me correction. Picking up mobile order.
Yes, correct.
Their table service where you scan the number,
Yeah,
that's such a cool concept.
yeah,
It's
that's awesome.
the greatest thing created for
I really think that should be like the norm at all.
I agree. That works so well. But like the one where you order on the app and then you pick it up yourself at the window, awful.
Yeah, I mean,
It's so bad.
Noah and I, we did that on our first park day. We went and we ordered Krusty Burgers to try, and it took forever. I was like, damn.
Yep. And it's not even so like one of the experiences my wife and I had was it wasn't the fact that it took forever for our food to be made. Our food was sitting on the counter. They just didn't
Mhm.
have the employees to pass it to us. So
Yeah,
like
which
it was like you had people standing in the normal line ordering that were getting their food faster than when the folks that were who ordered ahead of the time to get it faster. My wife stood in line for almost an hour to get her food. Our food. I was like, that's
I
crazy.
and I get that. I mean, I'm sure we might get comments saying, well, it's because they're doing it on purpose. They don't want to
I
pay the
get it. I
labor.
understand that, but like, don't offer it if you don't have the staff.
Which is funny because I saw a video where the guy was going to go through the single rider, and the guy was like, "Oh, single rider's closed. We don't have enough employees." And he got mad. It's like, I mean, he told you there's not enough employees. There's no single rider today.
Exactly. So it's like
At
it is
least you
what it
got.
is.
But would you rather it be open and there's not enough employees, like, and they forget about you?
Literally, and you're sitting there for 2 hours when the wait's 35 minutes. Like so
Like,
it's at least they told you. It's like and I get it. Like low staff, I completely understand that, but it's like when you're allowing 200 people to pick up at 2:05 your food, that shouldn't be happening. You should be shutting down your systems if you don't have the proper staffing to to mitigate that. Or only allowing a certain amount per time period like Disney does.
which is what we had mobile pickup at the movie
Yep,
theater, and if there's 3 people behind the stand and one person's gone, and the person at Hot Foods has to take care of all these mobile orders, I'm sorry, but I'm not taking care of the mobile orders. I'm taking care of all the 100 hot food orders that just came
yep,
through.
you got it. Yep,
And people would get so mad. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not my fault. If you have if you have a complaint, send your feedback in. And then, I mean, eventually they gave us better systems, and we come up with different, But because of the feedback, nothing would be changed without feedback.
oh, absolutely, no, for sure.
And I feel like, again, Disney's gonna hate me, but I just don't think Disney's listening.
No, no,
Like, I feel like they're very out of touch with what the consumer wants.
yep. I feel like Disney's just like on their high horse and like we're Disney, we're not going to take your feedback.
Well, as much as I love Disney, and this goes back, if just because you love something doesn't mean you can't criticize it. I think that they're in for a rude awakening next year.
Not even just next year in 6 months.
Well, yeah, right, exactly.
5 months almost, you know. So
I mean, I know that there people are like, well, I'm not going to Epic Universe in the first year because it's gonna be. I'm still going. Like, I'm gonna go to Disney because it's gonna be dead. Exactly the words you just said right there. You're going to Disney because it's gonna be dead. That's gonna hurt Disney, and they're gonna raise prices, and they're gonna hurt you even more.
you got it. You absolutely right.
And like back to the whole annual pass increases. I'm okay if Universal increases my price for annual passes
Yep.
because I get value.
Yep.
I get it. I get a discount on every single food or almost every single food
I was just
place.
about to say that. Like, I believe the perks at Universal Annual Pass blows Disney's out of the water. Out of the water. You get a discount at Starbucks.
Yep. You get a discount at the snack stands.
Yes, everywhere.
Disney, where's my cheeseburger spring roll discount?
Well, if Jerry didn't take the cart,
Well, yeah. Man, so I wonder if they ever caught you. I never saw a news story. You must have like used the cloak invisibility. You went over to Universal. They just see they just see the cart rolling away, but nobody's pulling it.
You'll magically start seeing Universal selling spring rolls now.
Universal, if you do it, I will be there every day.
Literally, imagine that'd be so funny.
Like, imagine if they were better. But I mean, I am really excited because even we talk shit. Like the whole point of this podcast was we're gonna be equally fair and crap
absolutely.
on crap needs to be crapped on, and like the whole point of this was to be an honest, transparent podcast. So I am excited to see what the future holds for Disney, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for Orlando as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't think that Orlando is done yet.
Far from it.
I think someone's going to try and park another park in the area.
I think so too.
You know, we have SeaWorld. We have.
I was about to say SeaWorld. I think they'll be the sneaky ones. I think.
They have been doing a lot of investing in SeaWorld Orlando.
Yes, we have.
I mean, we have 2 coasters in the last.
Yep.
3 years.
Yep.
Pipeline and the Arctic Coaster.
Yep.
And they're adding a new flyover ride. So
yes, they are.
Busch Gardens, I mean, it's technically not Orlando; it's Tampa. So but I know that they have been cutting things back. But SeaWorld, I feel like is a sleeper.
I agree. Yeah, I haven't yet been. Honestly, I've never been to SeaWorld.
I mean, I've been to SeaWorld when I was younger.
Not even.
But I haven't been as an adult.
I've heard it's a great time. I've heard it's really fun.
And I heard that they have a lot of perks for their pass holders.
Yep.
So it's definitely something I want to. Yeah, and they do deals all the time. So even if you're not a pass holder, I mean, you could go pretty good. It's definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, in Discovery Cove, which is owned by SeaWorld. But
yes.
That's another one bucket list.
That is definitely on my list of places I want to go.
Yes.
Man, it's like all the food, the drinks are included in the. I mean, I believe you can snorkel with sharks too. Well,
you sure can
snorkel with sharks.
Yes,
you can't you're not going to be in the same tank as them. But,
no, but like you can still go in there and see them.
Yeah,
which is like unheard of. Which is so cool. You know, like swimming with different fishes and like things like that. It's so cool.
But I do think that a lot is still to come because I also don't think Universal is done. No, I've been telling people that the other parks haven't been getting love because of Epic Universe, but once Epic Universe opens, I think you're going to see. Well, first of all, probably get it. I'm sure that like a few months after Epic Universe opens, we'll get an announcement for the Lost Continent, if not before.
Yep.
We're definitely going to get announcements for Universal Studios.
I was about to say because I think once Epic opens, they're going to have the capital and the time to be able to focus on the other parks.
And I also was like a lot of the backstage spaces that are at Universal Studios that take up like expansion space. They built replacements for them over on Epic Universe campus so that they can demolish them and expand studios.
You know what they also could probably do too? And this could be a little bit of a controversy here, but even expand City Walk.
Which I would be. I love City Walk.
I love it too. It's such a fun place.
Even after, like, I've been to the parks where the parks closed at 6:00 for Grad Bash, and I still had it. I had enjoyed hours of entertainment on City Walk.
Yep. So, like, they could do more with City Walk, like, not trying to say, like, compete with, like, Disney Springs, but, like, Disney Springs is a destination of its own. Like, Disney mastered that concept where, like, not just theme park, like, we have other destinations that you want to experience while you're here. Like, you know, City Walk, I wouldn't say is at that level yet, but, like, plenty of opportunity. I don't know what the room looks like for, like, building-wise, but, like, just a suggestion. You know,
I'm
who
sure
knows?
I'm sure there's not a ton of space to expand, but I think that there's, like, they're building the Harry Potter expansion into the existing City Walk. I mean, you also have up on top, you have all the nightclubs,
Yes. Yep.
which the I know that theme parks are trying to get away from that. Like, that's why Disney Springs got rid of the nightclub district.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that Universal is going to get rid of them all like Disney did, because Universal has a different product than Disney. But I think that we'll see more offerings go up there on the second level of City Walk. I also wouldn't be surprised if we get Epic Universe expansion announcements within the first 5 years of it being open. Because what? Hogsmeade opened in 2010, and 4 years later, Diagon Alley opened. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had announcements there.
Which would be cool. Imagine.
And we talked about before, I think Disney is going to bite the bullet and they'll announce a fifth park within the next 5 to 10 years.
You think? I mean, they got the space for it. Like, wait, come on, wait.
Well, they also, they sign a new agreement with the Reedy or Orlando Tourism, whatever, and it allows for them to build a fifth park. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're working on it right now, because I think deep down, even though what we see is Disney not, we feel like Disney's not listening and we feel like Disney's not caring. I do think that there are things going on behind the scenes.
Oh, and they're like, just wait till we announce it.
I mean, like, we were all completely blindsided by Villains Land. I never saw a single rumor for Villains Land. I never saw a rumor for Monstropolis. I did see rumors for Mickey Views did say that, like, we knew Beyond Big Thunder Mountain was coming. We knew that we knew that there was going to be some sort of dark aspect to it.
But never announced.
But not right. No one we all thought D23 was over, and they were like, "Oh, hey, by the way."
Just kidding.
But so I wouldn't. It'll probably be announced as a Blue Sky project first, and then 4 years after that will probably be definitive announcement, and then in the 5-year range, it'll probably be open. So I think within the next decade, we'll get the announcement and an opening.
Hopefully, and they need it.
That's my prediction. And then I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Universal continues to expand.
Yes,
because they own a ton of land now, and it's pretty cool how they build it all within a residential area.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But I think it's time for final thoughts.
Yes.
Of our final episode of the season, and I'm gonna let you choose the topic.
All right. Well, topic for me with being end of the season, and we've told you about upcoming things we're thinking about. But if you could, homework for you guys is feedback too. What do you want to see? What didn't you like? You know, so like if you could just let us know so we know what to push more of, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that, like we just talked about, if you are all sunshine and rainbows, we won't be able to grow.
Yep,
so
exactly.
I promise you, if you say, Josh, your microphone sucks, or Jerry, we need you to lead more episodes, Josh needs to be thrown out off the curb, or I promise you, you're not gonna I promise you're not gonna upset us. It's the only way for us to grow, especially as my content is completely different from what we do on here.
And if you do upset me, I'll block you. I'm joking. We never saw it.
Yeah, we just ignored it.
You just joked.
But like I said, the only way to grow is to get feedback, and if there's no feedback, we can't grow and be a better podcast for you guys.
Yep.
So with that being said, I'm Josh, and you can find me on all social media at Josh in the Parks.
I am Jerry. You can find me It's a Buzz Life on all social media.
And you can find In the Parks on Instagram and TikTok at InTheParks_pod, and everywhere else is In the Parks and Beyond podcast. That's a wrap, y'all. So put your hands up, because your lap bars are coming up for one final time this season.